Welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. A lot happened this weekend. Jimmy Failla is here because we have quite a bit to process. I mean, it's Super Bowl week, which is stupid because I don't like either of the teams that are in the game.
Nope. I could care less. As a gambler, that's usually where I'll find motivation. But in this game, it's coin toss. So
Stupid.
That's what I mean. So I don't care either. That's funny. The best bet in Vegas right now is the over-under 65 wings for me. I am going to eat. You know this. My Sundays have turned into such a cry for help. That TV show.
I really feel like you could be a competitive eater, though.
I could be.
I'm saying that as a total compliment because I'm obsessed with the idea of competitive eating. Mm-hmm. People who are competitive eaters are pretty thin. There's some special brain mechanism that allows them to process all that food. But I think that you don't eat like that all the time. Mm-mm. But when you choose to, it's impressive.
That show goes off the air at 11 o'clock Saturday night, and I am Yokozuna. That old sumo. People used to be scared of the man. That's me. But yes, and that's where I find myself for Super Bowl Sunday. I find motivation in the food, but I know we got bigger fish to fry. Back to you.
So I don't want. I was happy that Taylor Swift didn't win anything of consequence at the Grammys, but of course it has to be all about her.
Yeah.
So she has to get up and dance around and scream. So the camera's on her while other people are having a moment, so she can prove how giving and kind she is. But meanwhile, it's really just all about a way for her to suck all of the oxygen out of the room.
Totally. In the red dress, so people could be like, "Is that for the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Is she wearing that for Travis?
Yeah.
Is that like a nod to Travis?" And yeah, that's kind of who she is. Like, here's the thing. There's always a trade-off.
And she wins the Super Bowl if they win, which makes me so mad.
Makes you
just her life, I love her music. And I've said this, she was my number one artist on Spotify Wrapped for 2024. I listen to her music all the time. I really do love it. I think she's incredibly talented. I don't want to know a thing about her personal life ever again, unless it's in a song. And I wonder for a second, who's that about? But that's it. I hate the demonstrative, Brittany Mahomes, Blake Lively, Squad, where that's all they obsess over. It's so stupid and annoying and such a colossal waste of time, and it takes away from football.
Thank you. Yes to all of that.
Thanks, Jim.
I know you have a lot to get off your chest here, so I'm just kind of flaving to your Chuck D right now. Let me go put my clock around my neck. I'll be right back. Yeah. Continue.
I don't know why you took
Taylor
it off in the
needs
first
to calm down. I agree. That's a thing.
Yep.
I watched the Grammys. I enjoyed a lot of the music, but what was funny is the Grammys, they do this thing, and this is the reason why nobody wants Hollywood's opinion on anything political, is, we always say, it's the bubble. But if you ever needed a better representation of that thought process of us thinking it's a bubble, last night, Kendrick Lamar, black dude, deservedly wins Best Rapper.
Yes.
Great. Beyonce, black woman, wins. Great. Good album. Great. Chappell Roan, whose whole shtick is she dresses like a drag queen, also wins Best Artist of the Year. So best song, best album,
artist.
best song.
Yeah.
Okay, best new artist. Go to those three groups. And in between that, we listen to a 2.5-hour lecture about diversity. And I'm like, you're doing fine with diversity.
Yeah.
Imagine me getting up there at the end of the Jimmy Buffett concert and being like, when are we going to get some white guys in here? When are we going to get some chunky, middle-aged whites with fins on their heads? It's about time.
Oh,
and that's
God
why
rest
it was
his soul.
I know, the late, great Jimmy Buffett. But the point is, there's no self-awareness at Hollywood award ceremonies. Yeah. And it's fun to sit through because I think they're, stupid, but profoundly gifted just the same. So I enjoy the music and I get a laugh out of the speeches.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce had the album of the year.
No.
It was fine. I actually thought her last album was about 600 times better. If you're talking about black country artists, I thought Shabuzi was, better album, better songs. I like his voice. I like his story. Whatever. But it was because Jay-Z shamed the Music Academy into giving her album of the year because Taylor Swift kept winning.
I know.
And so this whole thing, they're so politically correct. They just blow wherever the wind tells them to go.
And they brought back Will Smith.
Yeah.
Did you see that? And Will Smith, it's exercise and image
they
rehabilitation.
They had to because Kanye got taken away with his
naked lady girlfriend thing.
She was a naked lady.
It's one thing to win best dressed, worst dressed. Very rarely does someone win not dressed. It's a new category. She made the not dressed list. Yeah. They told us it was the red carpet. I didn't know we were going to see one. Yeah. But anyway, all right, zing, pow.
My 19-year-old who has never been accused of dressing modestly,
19,
called
that's what you
me,
do.
and absolutely right. Like that's
You're
what
19
you're supposed to.
for a
Your mom
reason.
is supposed to be
You're supposed to be a guest.
frustrated
Yeah,
and be like,
upset.
"What
Yeah.
are you doing?"
She's just doing her job.
Yeah, she's doing her job. She called me because she was so disgusted. She was like, "There are kids watching this show. Northwest is probably watching the show, and her dad's girlfriend is, you could see her hoo-ha. Why?" And this is my daughter. She's like, "Why am I seeing Cooter on the red carpet?" And I was like, well, finally there's something we can all agree
But that's
on.
when you date yourself. You're like, Cooter, I didn't know the Dukes of Hazzard were making an appearance.
Yes, you good
That's
old
something.
boys.
There it is.
So, yeah, that was Bianca Unleashed.
Don't go anywhere. More Kennedy Saves the World right after this.
For the first time, I went to Pacific Palisades this weekend.
Oh my gosh.
It was so intense.
Yeah.
I don't have words to describe everything. I don't know how to process everything. But our little block, the homes are standing. So if you just look at the few houses on our block, it's like it feels like everything was a bad dream.
Okay.
And I found myself several times, walking through the horrible toxic remnants of our house. It did not burn down. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But there was, the back door blew open, the side door was open, so the house is just filled with this black chemically soot, all just piles of it all throughout the house. But looking at it going, I really wish this was a dream.
Yeah.
I wish this, and then at the end of the block on each side, all the homes are gone. It looks like a war zone. It looks like the bookends of our block looks completely bombed out.
Oh my God.
And so, you know what happened? And I want to interview this guy at some point. There was a firefighter from Australia who lived on our street. He moved to our street and he stood up he didn't evacuate because he's like, I'm Australian. I got my houses. And so he stood up for 16 hours and hosed off the house on the corner so the rest of our houses wouldn't burn.
Wow.
And he had all his hoses from the Australian bushfires and just stayed there and hosed everything down for hours, for 16 hours. He was trading off with another neighbor, and they knew if that house went, the whole block was going to go.
Wow.
And they saved us all.
What a gangster.
Yeah.
When you hear those, there are people built to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like mind-blowing to be in the presence of something like that. And you're very thankful for the fact that these people exist, but they are calibrated differently.
Yes.
It's just the same as the people who go in and do the relief work.
But so I look at like Timothée Chalamet and Harry Styles, and I'm like, do we still have guys like Duncan? I like to think we do.
No, they do.
I like to think they're in other parts of the country. And
You understand. The guys at these award shows, especially in Hollywood, they're playing the guy you just described.
Yeah.
90% of these trophies are going to closeted gay Scientologists. But that Australian guy, okay, he's not hiding anything.
I mean, what a badass, though.
Oh, yeah.
Just, and it's like, the amazing thing was he wasn't hosing down his house.
Mm-mm.
It was a completely different house because he just knew he knows how fire behaves. He knows how fire behaves with wind.
Australia are the world's rednecks in a weird way. Rednecks are the best people. They'll fix your flat. They'll help you with your car. They think nothing of it because they're just wired to do that sort of thing. And those people do exist. If you're in this concentration on the coasts, you get the feeling like they don't.
Yeah.
Because everybody around here is not that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, they might take a selfie in front of that house at the end of the block and be like, when this one goes, the whole block goes.
Yeah.
Smash the like button. I'll have more burnings in the next hour. But no. So the real men, they do exist.
Yeah.
They're still out there.
It was a tough scene, though. I saw, as we were
Holy
driving
hell.
to the airport, there was husband and wife, both in white hazmat suits, with little hand shovels going through the remnants of the ash and rubble that used to be their home. And there were so many of those, it just broke my heart.
I would.
And it's on a scale that you can't get by looking at pictures or watching TV reports. I think the Fox News reporters have done an incredible job, but seeing it it's too hard to process. I have to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't been there, and I can't fathom it actually happened.
Yeah.
Because I'm so familiar with the neighborhood, and when you think of how gorgeous it was, and just the fact that this was able to take place in our country, but especially in a place that should be, experiencing no shortage of resources. And I'm not trying to assign political blame. It just doesn't seem like this is an acceptable outcome.
Yeah, I was
this country.
talking to our mutual friend today, William, and he was saying there's something about this. It was just too easy for everything to burn.
Yeah.
And he wasn't engaging in a specific conspiracy theory, but none of it makes sense. So
No, but whatever Trump says, William's on board with. Our friend William.
nobody. He said like, "Were you able to get to the house?" I said, "Yeah, we got a pass, and we were able to get through the checkpoints, and we got to the house." He goes, "Was it because of Trump?"
He loves Trump.
Yes, it was.
We
Our house did not burn because of Donald Trump.
Our mutual friend William, I can't confirm this, okay, but you can relay my sentiments. There's no way his husband is not being made to wear a Trump wig after hours. There's no way. He loves, like, he calls me, "Oh my gosh, see what Trump did?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "He just had a Diet Coke." And I was like, "What?" Like, he does not miss all Trump all the time. Everyone talks about Trump derangement syndrome, but nobody talks about the people in our lives who love him so much. It's also unhealthy.
Yes, but like everything, it's like inflation's coming down. It's like the wall is being built. Like all the wrongs are being righted. Like all the ills are healed. Like everything is. And it makes me feel bad because it's like Derek Jeter's farewell season. So it's like we got 4 years and it's like, you guys, this is all you get. Like, I can't promise that any of this continues for any president after this. So enjoy it while you can.
Lap this up.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Well, you got the captain at bat.
We do.
All right, Jim, let's go crush this week like he crushes the Diet Coke button.
He does. There it is. Smash that button.
Smash that button. Consider it smashed. This has been Kennedy Saves the World, along with Jimmy Failla. I'm Kennedy.
Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app.
Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.